Hi guys, Niall McGill here, and today I wanted to talk to you about the shoulder pivot on the backswing and how we move away from the ball in the first part of the backswing. I see so many of my players struggle with this first movement, and this is what I really want us to focus on today. So I'm here looking at a mid-iron swing. Now, as we set up, the thing that's really important to bear in mind is that as we set up with all clubs, we don't stand in a vertical position. We're always tilted slightly forward. As such, when I pivot and when I rotate on the backswing, that means due to the incline forward that as my shoulders move, the left shoulder has to work slightly down and across to reach a point where it sits roughly under my left shoulder at the top of the backswing. The most common fault, and what I see over and over with my players, is somebody who is trying to move that shoulder over. What that tends to do when they try to physically move the shoulder over to under the chin is there tends to be a movement off of the ball. The upper body starts to lean off to the side and we get into that kind of swaying motion off the ball, which then makes it very difficult to get back to the ball in a downswing. And more often than not, what that will lead to when you watch from side on is that left shoulder staying high and moving over, causes the club to get a little bit flat in the backswing. A player then has to cast to get over as they return back to the ball again. And actually going around on the backswing itself isn't really a problem at all. But when you have stood out of your posture by lifting that shoulder, you're going to have to then get back into posture on the downswing. Instead, what I'm looking for us to do is to focus on the feeling of the shoulder working a little bit more down towards the left foot and down in towards the golf ball. So we're not swaying off the ball. What this is going to do is allow you to make a more central pivot on the backswing. That central pivot is then going to allow you to drive forwards onto the ball and get that nice crisp ball before turf strike, and just making a slight divot at the bottom there. What we'll often again see when the player who sways off the ball is a lot of downswings where the club bottoms out early. You're either catching the ground first, or by the time the club hits the golf ball, it's actually travelling back upwards again, and that shoots the ball out a little bit along the ground and a bit thin. So again, first movement away from the ball. We're not looking for a big movement over to the side with the shoulder. We're looking for a pivot. The left shoulder will feel like it's slightly downwards. As you're reaching the top of the backswing, you'll find now that actually from sort of what we class 3/4 back, your club now is starting to travel towards a target. As such, you'll find your weight doing a similar thing and beginning to move towards the target side. So again, first movement from the ball. We pivot, we feel left shoulder work down. So you'll see my left shoulder there doesn't stay high and move across, but rather the shoulder works down a little bit more, down and across. My head stays in a central position there because I'm pivoting. That pivot, when we look from side on, once again, because I'm tilted forwards, the shoulders do not turn with a vertical spine. I think where it also gets mixed up is that, generally speaking in life, if you're ever going to turn, you turn whilst in a vertical position. So you rotate while standing straight up. So you're used to your shoulder turn and the shoulder plane being very shallow and very flat. It's really unusual that we would actually ever be tipping forwards and have to rotate around that angle. So this is something for you to practice at home as well. You can stand in front of a mirror, club across the shoulders, and just get used to that feeling of the shoulders pivoting. You'll feel the left shoulder works down and across, and as a result, the right shoulder works up and back. There is no swaying and no lateral movement off the ball. Go and give this a try. Both give it a go in the range, give it a go, like I say, standing at home in front of a mirror, just so that you can get the feeling of what this central pivot is and that first initial movement away from the golf ball. So let's not sway, let's get this nice central pivot. Hope that's going to help you. If you want to watch some more free videos, get over onto my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel where there's going to be loads more videos uploaded there, and hopefully that's going to help you improve your game.